Whoever shouldn't have been there. That's a big story. Okay. What are you doing? Climbing in that hole? Staying out of there.
Right now at 4 a.m., a driver is not injured after her car flips in Midtown overnight. I'm Colby Thielen. What Oklahoma City police say led to that crash, it's coming up. Plus, Representative Kevin Hern becomes the first Republican to announce his bid for Senator Markwayne Mullin's soon-to-be open Senate seat. A look at what the first polls say about his potential opponents. It's ahead.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Megan Gold. Yesterday's cold front has brought in much colder air this morning. You'll notice that change out the door. We'll talk about the rest of your Thursday and your forecast as we head to the weekend. It's coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Thursday morning. Glad you're with us this morning. We made a mistake yesterday. Turned the air conditioning on.
Oh.
Forgot to turn it off. And so it was like 62 degrees inside our house this morning.
Perfect. Yeah, I leave my air conditioning on all night long, but I'm one of those.
It's perfect if you're under the covers and sleeping.
With 4 blankets.
Yeah, but when you're trying to get ready for work, it's a little chilly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this morning, it is cold out there. So you probably need a jacket if you're heading out the door.
We were in the 50s and 60s this time yesterday, waiting on our cold front. We're in the 20s and 30s this morning.
Yeah.
So grab the coat as you head out. Let's show you the big picture across the country this morning. Remember, for your Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, we had severe weather. That cold front now down to the southeast and bringing more rain, some severe thunderstorms across the southeast. Look at all the high wind warnings up across the north. And as high pressure settles in, our winds have lightened up. Yesterday was a flat out windy day. Here's the difference in temperatures from this time yesterday. We're about 30 degrees colder here in Oklahoma City, up towards Enid to Ponca City, and areas really across northern Oklahoma. Notice there isn't quite a difference back into the Panhandle because the cold front hit earlier there yesterday morning. Here's the live look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Winds again very, very light to even calm. We fell into the low 30s just about an hour ago in Oklahoma City, and our temperatures have come up several degrees, but still cold. 37 right now with a west wind. El Reno, you're 28 degrees, 27 in Enid, 33 in Norman, and below freezing at 31 down in Purcell. So again, a mix of 20s and 30s. Winds are light through the I-44 corridor, a little breezier up in the northwest and down to the south and east. And winds crank up again this afternoon. Low humidity brings in high fire danger. We'll talk about the rest of your 9-day. Another strong cold front hits this weekend, Colby. It's coming up.
Megan, thank you. We want to turn to some breaking news right now on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. You are taking a live look at the scene where fire crews responded to a reported house fire right near Northeast 34th and Lottie early this morning. This is a live look from our news tracker, Lex Stanfield, as crews looks like they're trying to wrap up this scene. Some of them were even rolling the hoses. We did notice that the door on the house, it looks like they put some plywood there, so potentially had to break down the door. What we're told, though, is that a mattress was on fire in this home. One person was loaded into an ambulance. The fire is out now as crews work to kind of tamp down hot spots and hopefully clear the scene soon. So we'll be continuing to follow this from our Lex Stanfield. He is out there on the scene watching those updates, and we'll bring them to you. And breaking overnight, a driver is not injured after a car flips over in a roundabout. Crews arrived on this scene just after midnight, right near Northwest 10th and Chartel. Police say that driver was from out of state. She told law enforcement she didn't know there was a roundabout there. They did take the driver to the hospital to be checked out. No one else was involved in this crash. No names so far have been released. 2 drivers make it out of a fiery crash on I-35. This was in Edmond. It left the highway closed for over 5 hours. It happened yesterday morning right near Covell. You're seeing a semi here full of cooking oil. It was engulfed in flames with the car wedged underneath it. Troopers say the driver of that car went under the trailer and hit the fuel tank when traffic slowed. The driver was able to jump out of the car before the fire started. Look at the damage left behind. Wow. That driver was ticketed for driving too closely. Taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this morning as the first Republican enters the race for Senator Markwayne Mullin's U.S. Senate seat. Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern announced that he will run for that seat. He announced it yesterday. Hern currently represents Oklahoma's 1st congressional district, which covers eastern Oklahoma. He's been in office since 2018.
It's very important in Oklahoma to have people who support Oklahoma values in the Senate. I think I've done that time and time again in my 8 years in Congress, and I continue to want to take that to the United States Senate and do the same thing.
So this comes as Governor Kevin Stitt continues his time in Washington, D.C. today. Our Capitol Hill sources say that he is expected to talk with congressional leaders today about the appointment that he is set to make to fill Senator Mullin's seat temporarily until the election. Senator Mullin's confirmation hearing for his appointment to lead the Department of Homeland Security is set for next week. After Senator Mullin resigns from the Senate, Governor Stitt will have 30 days to appoint someone to fill that seat. Right now, polls are swirling around the state this morning as contenders for Senator Mullin's soon-to-be vacated seat feel out the election landscape. The first of likely many polls came out yesterday morning. News 9's Matt McCabe spoke to local pollster about the results and the polls in the works.
Conservative Political Action Committee, the Club for Growth, released a poll for hypothetical matchups in Oklahoma's Senate seat. But what exactly is a poll, and how do you know if you can trust it? Pollster Kyle Lovelace shares his thoughts.
They take a random sample of the population. They balance it by demographics, age, partisanship, where they live, and racial as well as education. So you take all those factors and you make sure that the sample of the people, because you're only asking 500 people, 600 people, what their opinions are, you have to make sure that those 500 represent the area that you want.
In the case of Club for Growth, it measured matchups between Representative Kevin Hern and Governor Kevin Stitt, and Hern and Representative Stephanie Bice, with Hern projected to lead in both hypotheticals.
To me, when you see a poll, don't just automatically dismiss it as, oh, so-and-so's campaign put it out, it can't be true. Or, oh, this group put it out, it can't be true. That isn't necessarily the case. You know, a survey is only, as good as it's put together by.
The poll says it measured 510 likely Republican primary voters between March 7th and 9th over the phone, but has not shared details about the questions asked.
Matt McCabe, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
We've also learned another poll that's being texted to likely voters. This poll specifically is polling support for Stephanie Bice as a potential candidate. We'll share more about those results as soon as they come in. Oklahoma County Commissioners are moving forward with construction of a new jail, even though they're short millions of dollars right now. In a 2-to-1 vote Wednesday, commissioners approved a $214 million agreement with the construction company Flintco for the first phase of this project. It comes as the board faces a shortfall of hundreds of millions of dollars.
It makes sense to do what the voters directed us to do with this money, which is to put it towards building a new jail, and this will complete phase 1.
So yesterday, commissioners approved using money from a settlement fund to help with that budget shortfall. County commissioners also vote to defer a vote to request an audit of the jail trust. Commissioners were waiting for the district attorney to review the request in order to determine if commissioners can even call for an audit. Now, the district attorney says this needs an opinion from the attorney general. Commissioners also decided to defer a vote on creating a committee that could lead to the dissolving of the jail trust. 4:08 right now. Oklahoma Highway Patrol says strong winds, straight line winds, blew over 3 semis along I-35 in Love County. Troopers shared this photo of one of them. Take a look at this. One driver was hospitalized. They're expected to be okay. But OHP says an empty tractor trailer can tip at 55 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts, and the trailer that is fully loaded can tip around 80 miles per hour. Residents in Marietta are continuing to clean up after severe weather left damage across the area, including to this home. County officials say this is the hardest hit home in that area from those straight line winds. A neighbor says the woman who lives there was thankfully not at home at the time of the storm. That neighbor was left with minor damage to her home. She said her house took the storm as it came through.
It was the weirdest sound, and the electricity kind of went off real early. We're like, well, that's kind of soon after, a storm started. And we stepped outside, and it was a little different when you stepped outside compared to what you thought it was.
Yeah, imagine your house shaking during a storm. That's scary stuff. County officials still assessing the damage, reporting down trees, power lines, as well as roof damage. If you have any damage, if you're down in Love County, you're asked to report it at damage.ok.gov. An El Reno hotel is left needing repairs after Tuesday's damaging storms. That hotel right near Highway 81 and I-40 is now partially missing its roof after those strong winds. It's the same area as a deadly EF3 tornado touched down 6 years ago. At last check, there are no reports of injuries. That's the good news. We're working to learn the extent of the damage to that building. We'll continue following all the latest. We've been seeing these results coming in from Tuesday's storms. I know Love County was a big question yesterday, Megan. Was it a tornado? Was it not? Sounds like at this point, straight line winds, and they can do a lot of damage.
They can, and it was, as you said, it was not ruled a tornado, but regardless, we do know that folks down in Marietta and far southern Oklahoma have a lot of cleanup to do, and we're still thinking about everyone impacted by last week's storms. Thankfully, a much quieter pattern has settled in. There is a big wind maker up to the northwest. That will be our next cold front. We'll talk all about it coming up. Our cold front from yesterday is down to the south and east, and much colder air has settled into the southern plains. We'll talk about your Thursday forecast. It's coming up.
And still ahead, state senators working right now to further restrict obscene materials in school libraries. What lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are saying right after the break. All right, as you're waking up this morning, just go ahead and get the layers ready.
Yeah.
This morning, it's very cold outside.
20s and 30s, it's a little bit of a shock to the system, but it's very common as we go into spring. You still have the big ups and the big downs. A lot of times that does bring in severe weather, though.
Considering Monday was, what, 80-something degrees?
Right.
And
90s.
And then all of a sudden we're like back into the 20s and 30s. It is a shock.
And
for
this
sure.
afternoon will be beautiful. We're back to the 60s. So yesterday the cold front came through. We had a strong north wind yesterday. So it was a windy day and it was a chilly day. But more importantly, let's go ahead and start here. Just one more look at Colby there. Our average final.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh. Our average final freeze is March 30th. So it's still very common for all of you gardeners and those of you that are trying to get your spring things ready on your property that we do still have freezing temperatures and even some hard freezes as we go through the month of March. The earliest final freeze we've ever had was February 21st, and then you can still have freezes into the month of April and May, just not quite as common. So average final freeze again, March 30th. There we go. Okay, it's back to me. That's just to see if you're awake this morning. Our temperatures over the last 24 hours, again, cold front came through yesterday. The warmest part of the day was early in the morning. We were in the 60s. Cold front came through, and you can see when that happened. 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we got the wind shift. Temperatures dropped several degrees. We climbed back up into the mid-50s, and that was pretty much it for the rest of the day. So it'll go down in the books that we had a high temperature in the low to mid-60s, but we spent the day in the low to mid 50s. And then again, temperatures have just tumbled during the overnight hours as that cold air has filtered on in. Speaking of yesterday's maximum wind gusts, 49 degrees here in Oklahoma City. Down in Lawton, 54. Portions of southwestern Oklahoma, very windy there, along with the panhandle as that cold front initially came through. It brought in winds of 50 miles per hour. So there's your front down to the south, still very warm. Panama City, 75 degrees right now. Orlando is 68, Minneapolis 27, and 30 in Wichita and Denver. So there goes our cold front, high pressure settling in. Winds are very light this morning, but they'll crank up into the afternoon. And look at all the high wind warnings across the north. That is all out ahead of our next big wind maker and our next big cold front that is coming in from the northwest that hits this weekend. So it's really a weekend divided. Temperatures warm today, tomorrow, into your Saturday. We have 70s and 80s, and then cold front comes blasting through, and your Sunday is a downright windy day. We'll have gusts 45 to 50 miles per hour, slight chance for a few showers, and highs in the 40s. A kind of pretty cold day. Same deal for your Monday. So the cold air lingers, it pushes off to the east, and then we start another big time warm up as a ridge of high pressure settles in. And guys, the pattern looks very, very dry really through the end of the month. So that means that anytime we get these days with very strong winds, our fire danger will be a big concern. And we do have fire danger concerns today. Here's the live look on our Lucky Star Skycam network. 32 is our temperature right now, 72% humidity, and the skies are clear. Guthrie, you're 34 degrees. Jones, 30 degrees. 31 in Purcell, 27 in Fort Cobb, and 29 in Sealing. So we get a mix of 20s and 30s, a few isolated spots at the 40-degree mark, but running about 30 to 35 degrees colder than this time yesterday. Winds are light to calm, a little breezier down in the southeast and the north and west. And this afternoon, winds are going to crank up in the west. We're back to the 60s today. A few spots hit the 70-degree mark, and fire danger again this afternoon. Humidity falls to about 10 to 20%, gusts to 30 and 40. Moderate fire danger for the metro. And tonight, winds out of the south will be breezy and a few clouds, so we're not quite as cold as this morning. And then tomorrow, we are back to the 70s. We get this little boundary, this little wind shift to bring in a north wind tomorrow, and winds are light to breezy. Not a flat out windy day by any means, with sunny skies. And then jumping ahead into your weekend, again, the cold front comes in, a slight chance for showers. Do not go canceling any weekend plans, other than the fact that if they're outdoors, you'll have to bundle up. So from 80 degrees on Saturday, Sunday, 46 degrees with a strong north wind. Fire danger will be high to even extreme in far western Oklahoma. 49 on Monday, and we turn a big corner Tuesday through the end of the week. We warm it up. First day of spring is next Friday, Colby, and a high of 87.
All right, we'll go ahead and take this shot now, Megan. Oklahoma lawmakers advanced legislation that would further restrict obscene materials in school libraries. Republicans say action needs to be taken to protect Oklahoma children. Our Capitol reporter Haley Hetrick has the details.
We're here to protect our kids.
Almost 2 hours spent on Senate Bill 1250.
This is, I think, an emotionally charged issue for many of us.
We've been fighting this problem for a long time, and hopefully now we can get something done that everybody's going to be happy with.
The legislation prohibits Oklahoma schools from having any library materials containing or depicting obscene materials, sexually explicit content, or nudity.
And I believe the intent of this entire body is simply to protect children from seeing things that they shouldn't see before it's time for them.
Republicans call it common sense legislation.
The obvious that the processes we have today that allow inappropriate material to remain in our schools is proof that we need a change.
Democrats disagree.
This is a solution looking for a problem. Every school district in this state has a process for parents to object to a book.
Saying this is an issue already being solved at the local level.
We need to take out materials that are not appropriate age-wise. But we know our kids are exposed to things constantly, inside and outside the school. Are we going to make them be sealed in a hermetic bubble until they're 18?
While the bill had the room split, the Senate author Warren Hamilton says it was meant to be a parental issue, not a partisan issue.
I would like for my children and my grandchildren and successive generations to be able to view the library as a safe place for children to go.
The legislation ultimately passing on party lines.
This is the right bill, this is the right time, and God have mercy on us if we do not defend children that are in our classrooms and under our care.
The legislation is now headed over to the State House for consideration. Now, a similar bill did pass off the House floor earlier this week. That is now headed to the State Senate. At the Capitol for Oklahoma's Own, I'm Haley Hetrick.
And in 2024, the state Supreme Court ruled unanimously that local school boards hold that authority to determine library book selections, not state officials. We'll be following the latest. Meanwhile, with recent storms, we've tied the old record for the number of tornadoes in March. We're less than 2 weeks into March. David is looking at the upcoming storm season to see how busy our spring just could be. Don't miss the severe weather forecast. It's coming up tonight at 10 p.m. Welcome back. We have some breaking news right now in Edmond. A reported rollover crash is being also reported with injury as well. This is in Edmond near East Covell and North Bryant. You can see the damage to the vehicle right here. It does appear to be off the road as investigators are trying to look into this and what caused it. So traffic still getting by at this point. We did notice that deer crossing sign. We don't know what caused this crash. We're hoping that they weren't trying to avoid a deer and rolled the car, but significant damage to the vehicle. We're checking on injuries. As soon as we get those updates from our Stephen Owsley, he's live there on the scene. We'll bring those to you right here and on the News 9 app. Hey, if you've been to Bricktown recently, you may have noticed a new art installation. It's near the Harkins Theater. It's 24 foot tall. It's a sculpture called Cloud Embrace. It features painted panels that reflect different colors throughout the day. Officials say it's inspired by Oklahoma skies.
Based on where it is and based on, I think, on its attractiveness, it's going to be a real statement. It's going to show up in a lot of Instagram posts, especially from visitors.
So officials said the sculpture is designed to last years of public use and requires very minimal maintenance. All right, an expert here in the Oklahoma skies. What do you think, Megan?
I like it.
Okay, all right.
Instagrammable. I like that we're thinking about that.
We like this afternoon's forecast. It looks nice. It's in the 60s, so it's very mild.
Yeah, it's super nice. Warmer than yesterday. It is cold out the door, so grab the coat if you're headed out. 20s and 30s. Got another big cold front that hits this weekend. We'll talk about it coming up.
Hey, no wind down in Chickasha. That's nice. We have Robin and Lacey coming up. Nick, good morning. We're having a great morning. Glad you're with us. We're back after this. Right now at 4:30, a driver says she's not injured after this crash in a Midtown roundabout. I'm Colby Thielen. What Oklahoma City police say happened, it's coming up.
Plus, residents in Marietta are continuing to clean up after severe storms hit the area, leaving damage. I'm Lacey Lowry. What one homeowner says she remembers from the moments those straight line winds hit.
And Congressman Kevin Hern is the first Republican to announce his bid for Senator Markwayne Mullins' soon-to-be open seat. I'm Robin Marsh. What the first polls are saying about his potential opponents, it's coming up on News 9 this morning.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
It is a Thursday morning as we say good morning, Oklahoma. Thanks for waking up early. It is 4:30. How are we doing today?
It is chilly out the door this morning. Wow.
After almost 90 degrees, it's like, whoa.
We go from one extreme to the other, don't we? Good morning. We're glad you're with us. And we say hello to Megan Gold this morning. Megan, how are we doing?
Good morning, guys. Well, it is a cold start to the day. Cold front came through yesterday. And this time of year, we get those big ups and big downs as we transition from winter into spring and eventually into summertime. Temperatures are running anywhere from 20 to 30 to even 35 degrees colder than this time yesterday. We were in the 50s and 60s, and this morning 20s and 30s. Those strong winds from yesterday have diminished. 34 is our temperature right now, with winds that are light to calm. And in the metro, El Reno, you're 25 degrees, Guthrie 33, 27 in Kingfisher, and 32 down in Purcell. So a mix of 20s and 30s. A few spots at 40 degrees like Durant down in far southern Oklahoma. And those winds a little breezy in the southwest and up in the northwest, but notice from the southwest up through the north and east, winds are light to calm. Enjoy it. Winds are going to crank up some as we go into the afternoon. That combined with low humidity brings in high fire danger across the west. That's Clinton out to Elk City and Woodward to Guyman, and in Oklahoma City, a moderate threat for fire danger. A lot to talk about coming up. Our next cold front slams in this weekend. It's a weekend divided. Very warm for your Saturday and chilly, downright windy with high fire danger on Sunday. We'll talk all about it. Your 9-day is minutes away.
Megan, thanks so much. Breaking news right now, a rude wake-up call for a Metro man. The mattress that he was sleeping on caught on fire on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. Let me show you the scene. This was just a few minutes ago right near Northeast 34th and Lottie. Firefighters say the man is being treated for smoke inhalation. He is expected to survive. We did see the fire crews there boarding up the home after putting the fire out. The cause of the fire right now is under investigation.
And now I want to take you to Edmond. Breaking news, a rollover crash. You're looking live right now. This is near Covell and Bryant. That vehicle reportedly rolled over and it landed off the roadway. Right now, a wrecker is at the scene, going to tow this car away. You can see the airbags deployed and everything. The roadway itself is actually still open while they try to get this car out of the way. We do see police on scene. We're trying to ask if the driver was injured, if so, how badly. But if you're traveling through Covell and Bryant and Edmond this morning, this rollover crash is unfolding and they should have it cleared up here pretty soon.
And breaking overnight, a driver says she's not injured after she flips her car in a roundabout overnight. This was the scene right near Northwest 10th and Chartel. How about that? Yeah, police say the driver was from out of state. She told the officers that she didn't know there was a roundabout there. They did take the driver to the hospital to be checked out. No one else was involved in this crash, just the driver in the car here. No names so far have been released.
And you have to see this fiery crash on I-35 in Edmond that left the highway closed for several hours. Unbelievably, both drivers not even injured. This all unfolded yesterday morning near Covell and I-35. What you're seeing is a semi full of cooking oil covered in flames, and there's actually a car wedged under the semi. Troopers say the driver of the car actually went under the trailer. Look at this. When traffic started slowing down, the driver was able to jump out before the flames. Everything was destroyed. Both drivers okay, and the driver of the car was ticketed for following too closely.
Well, we are watching political news here in Oklahoma, and now the first Republican has entered the race for Senator Markwayne Mullins' U.S. Senate seat. It's Congressman Kevin Hern. He announced he is running for the Senate seat. The announcement came yesterday. The congressman currently represents Oklahoma's 1st congressional district, which covers a lot of eastern Oklahoma. He has been in office since 2018.
It's very important in Oklahoma to have people who support Oklahoma values in the Senate. I think I've done that time and time again in my 8 years in Congress, and I continue to want to take that to the United States Senate and do the same thing.
And the news comes as Governor Kevin Stitt continues his time in our nation's capital today. Our Capitol Hill sources say the governor is expected to talk with congressional leaders today about the appointment he is set to make to fill Senator Markwayne Mullins' seat. Mullins' confirmation hearing for his appointment to lead the Department of Homeland Security is set for next week on Capitol Hill. After Senator Mullen resigns from the Senate seat here in Oklahoma, the governor will have 30 days to appoint someone in his seat.
As you can imagine, the polls are swirling around the state this morning as Republican primary contenders for Mullen's soon-to-be vacated seat feel out the election landscape. This morning, our Brianna Brown is live with more on exactly what is an election poll and how do you know if you can trust it. Brianna, good morning.
Good morning, Lacey. Yes, a conservative political action committee, the Club for Growth, released a poll about the hypothetical GOP primary matchups for the Oklahoma Senate seat. Now, the group tells us this poll takes a random sample of the population balanced by various demographics, including age, race, where they live, their education. In the case of Club for Growth, it measured matchups between Representative Kevin Hern and Governor Kevin Stitt and Representative Hern and Representative Stephanie Bice, with Hern projected to lead in both hypotheticals.
Whenever you see a survey from an interest group like Club for Growth or a specific candidate, you always have to make sure that it is scientifically done, that it's balanced, and it's transparent in the crosstabs that are available, as well as the questions and that kind of thing.
The poll says it measured 510 likely Republican primary voters between March 7th and March 9th, a narrow window. This was all over the phone, but the pollsters have not shared details about which questions were asked. We do know on the Democrat side, Democrat Jim Priest has entered the race to fill Markwayne Mullins' soon-to-be vacated Senate seat.
Oklahoma County commissioners are moving forward with construction of a new jail, even though they're short hundreds of millions of dollars. In a 2-to-1 vote Wednesday, commissioners approved a $214 million agreement with construction company Flint Co. This is for the first phase of that project. It comes as the board faces a shortfall of hundreds of millions of dollars.
It makes sense to do what the voters directed us to do with this money, which is to put it towards building a new jail, and this will complete phase 1.
Yesterday, commissioners approved using money from a settlement fund to help with the budget shortfall.
More fallout from those strong storms just 2 nights ago. The Highway Patrol says the strong winds blew over 3 big rigs, semis, right on I-35 down near Marietta in Love County. Troopers shared this photo of one of the semis that was blown over on the interstate. One driver was taken to the hospital, is expected to be okay. The Highway Patrol says an empty tractor trailer can tip just at 55 to 65 mile an hour on the wind gust. A loaded trailer can flip when the winds are about 80 miles an hour.
And residents in Marietta continued to clean up after the severe weather left damage across the area, including this home right here. County officials say this is the hardest hit home in that area. A neighbor of that home says that the woman who lives there thankfully was not home at the time of this storm. That neighbor, though, was left with minor damage to her home, and she said her house shook as that storm came through.
It was the weirdest sound, and the electricity kind of went off real early. We're like, well, that's kind of soon after, a storm started. And we stepped outside, and it was a little different when you stepped outside compared to what you thought it was.
Seeing the damage that was left behind, county officials still assessing that damage, reporting down trees, power lines, roof damage. By the way, if you have any damage, you're asked to report it at damage.ok.gov.
An El Reno hotel is needing repairs this morning after those damaging storms Tuesday night. Take a look. The hotel near Highway 81 and I-40 is partially missing its roof due to strong winds. It's the same area a deadly EF3 tornado touched down 6 years ago. At last check, there are no reports of injuries on this hotel damage. We're trying to figure out the extent, the cost of damage inside that hotel in El Reno.
And the small community of Beggs, just south of Tulsa, grieving the loss of a beloved couple that was killed when that EF3 tornado hit their mobile home last Friday night. Todd and Becky McClellan's family says they were well known in the community. They showed up at all their grandkids' cheer competitions and sporting events. We are told cinder blocks are all that's left of the family's home, and now the rest of the family just picking up what's left of their loved ones' lives.
It's going to be long. It's going to be tough. Like I said before, when you got good close family and good friends, you'd be surprised what you can get through.
Really a generational farm there for the McClellans. Family members say Todd and Becky's son Ace, who you just saw, lived a few feet away. He was badly injured. He is expected to be okay, but a long road for him. Volunteers are coming together to help clean up the property there for the family. It's something that family has done for years.
They're so well known in that area too. So many family members hurting because it's a large family. Ace survived, but the pictures from the hospital, he was badly injured, him and his girlfriend.
We're praying for that family and that community as well.
Certainly, it's been such a wild start to March. We're thankful for a little bit of calm weather, even if it is chilly out the door this morning
as well.
Yeah, let's ask Megan about it. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning. Grab the coat as you head out here on your Thursday. 20s and 30s. Yesterday's cold front has brought in much colder air, but this afternoon a south wind warms us back up. Fire danger will be a concern as we go to the afternoon. We'll talk all about that 9-day after this quick break.
From the Bob Mills Weather Center, meteorologist Megan Gold.
Good morning. It is 4:45 here on your Thursday. We're so happy you are here with us as we are heading into the weekend. Temperatures, they are warming up, but we have had such a wild start to March. Temperature ups and downs, but mainly big time ups, 80s, 90s, and we've had 3 rounds of severe weather now, and we have entered into a very dry and a very quiet pattern, which is welcome news for many of us. However, fire danger going to become a big concern, especially on days when our winds are strong, and we have several very windy days headed our way. Our cold front from yesterday down to the southeast, sparking rain and thunderstorms, some severe weather across the southeast. High pressure settling in, and look at all the high wind warnings out ahead of our next big wind maker and our next big cold front that will come in from the northwest for the weekend. Truly a weekend divided. So temperatures warm today, warmer than yesterday, your Friday into your Saturday. Highs hit into the 80s, and then a strong cold front blasts through on Sunday. Winds out of the north will gust 35 to 45 miles per hour. That cranks up the fire danger, and that chilly air sticks around through your Monday before high pressure takes over and we start another very big warm up with very, very dry conditions. Looking all the way through the end of the month at the data, it looks like we spend most of March dry from here on out. We'll see about the last week of the month, but again, fire danger going to be a big concern on days where our winds are very strong. Here's a live look from our Lucky Stars Skycam network, our downtown camera, our Chickasha camera. Yesterday, winds were 40 to 50 miles per hour here in Oklahoma City. Down to the southwest, Lawton had a gust to 54, and winds will be nowhere near that strong in the metro today, but they will be gusty in the northwest, and I'll show you that here in just a second. But winds have lightened up during the overnight. 34 is our temperature right now. Much colder air has settled in behind that cold front. It is 27 in El Reno out to Kingfisher, 32 in Weatherford, 36 in Byers to Pauls Valley, over to Tecumseh, and 33 in Chandler. So there's your freezing line, the pink line, everything to the north in the 20s and 30s, above freezing down to the south, and winds are still out of the north, but we are quickly going to switch to a southerly wind today, and that warms us back into the 60s. 65 for a high in Oklahoma City today, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds down to the south, but look up to the northwest, gusts to 35 and 40, which means fire danger today. Humidity falls 10 to 20%. So from Elk City, Sayre out to Clinton, Woodward, Alva, fire danger is high today. We'll watch that very closely. Moderate here in Oklahoma City where the winds are not quite as strong. Overnight tonight, southerly winds are breezy. We'll have a few clouds around, but temperatures out the door tomorrow not quite as cold as this morning in the low 40s. Tomorrow we get this northeast breeze. Temperatures still very warm, actually warmer than today. We'll have a mix of upper 60s, low to mid to upper 70s, and a few spots in the southwest like Altus at 80 degrees. Overall, a beautiful day. And then into your Saturday, again, that is really the peak of our warming trend here. Upper 70s, low 80s, 85 in Altus, very warm down in the southwest, and the record high is 85 degrees. That cold front comes slamming in on Sunday, and look at our wind speeds. Again, 35 to 45 miles per hour, maybe a gust or two to 50. That means fire danger in the west, high to maybe even extreme, and a slight chance for a few showers. It looks pretty dry. That's your only chance for rain on the 9-day forecast. So as we head into spring here, which is 1 week from Friday, we have big temperature ups and downs, but mostly ups. That cold front comes through from 80 degrees on Saturday to 46 on Sunday, guys.
Megan, thank you. Oklahoma lawmakers advanced legislation that would further restrict obscene materials in school libraries.
Republicans at the Capitol say action needs to be taken to protect our kids. Our Capitol reporter Haley Hetrick with the story.
We're here to protect our kids.
Almost 2 hours spent on Senate Bill 1250.
This is, I think, an emotionally charged issue for many of us.
We've been fighting this problem for a long time, and hopefully now we can get something done that everybody's going to be happy with.
The legislation prohibits Oklahoma schools from having any library materials containing or depicting obscene materials, sexually explicit content, or nudity.
And I believe the intent of this entire body is simply to protect children from seeing things that they shouldn't see before it's time for them.
Republicans call it common sense legislation.
It's obvious that the processes we have today that allow inappropriate material to remain in our schools is proof that we need a change.
Democrats disagree.
This is a solution looking for a problem. Every school district in this state has a process for parents to object to a book.
Saying this is an issue already being solved at the local level.
We need to take out materials that are not appropriate age-wise. But we know our kids are exposed to things constantly, inside and outside the school. Are we going to make them be sealed in a hermetic bubble until they're 18?
While the bill had the room split, the Senate author Warren Hamilton says it was meant to be a parental issue, not a partisan issue.
I would like for my children and my grandchildren and successive generations to be able to view the library as a safe place for children to go.
The legislation ultimately passing on party lines.
This is the right bill, this is the right time, and God have mercy on us if we do not defend children that are in our classrooms and under our care.
The legislation is now headed over to the State House for consideration. Now, a similar bill did pass off the House floor earlier this week. That is now headed to the state Senate. At the Capitol for Oklahoma's Own, I'm Haley Hetrick.
In 2024, the state Supreme Court ruled unanimously that local school boards hold the authority to determine library book selections, not state officials.
Well, we have now tied the old record for the number of tornadoes in March, and we're only 2 weeks in. Chief Meteorologist David Payne is looking at the upcoming storm season to see how busy our spring might get. Don't miss his severe weather forecast. It's tonight at 10 o'clock. A new food truck in Santa Barbara, California is now serving up more than just sandwiches. A local shelter launched the Good Sam Which food truck this week to help those working toward stable employment. It offers hands-on experience and culinary training for anyone who needs it, and food trucks are great just at their core. Organizers say they hope this new project will create opportunities while serving the community.
So is SAM an acronym, or is that the name of that guy?
Good Samaritan.
Sorry, it's a little early this morning. I'm a little behind.
You get them all in before 5 a.m.
I love a good food truck. The concept of food trucks is just the best.
Bring me the food.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yes.
I can't believe I thought his name was Sam.
You're like, who's Sam?
I was trying to figure it out too.
How is Sam doing?
Hey, it looks pretty good to me, right? There you go.
Really good.
How are we doing out the door today?
It's cold. You guys noticed it?
Yes.
20s and 30s. So the cold front came through yesterday. Yesterday was a very windy day. Today will be windy in the northwest, not quite as windy here in Oklahoma City. There's your 24-hour temperature change from this time yesterday, about 30 degrees colder, but winds are light. So enjoy that. No big wind chill factor. We fall into 30 degrees right now. And again, our winds are light. So mix of 20s and 30s, a little warmer down to the south. This afternoon, a south wind kicks in, a high temperature of 65 degrees. High fire danger in the west. Strong cold front arrives this weekend. Lacey's got more on that at 5 o'clock.
And still ahead, Oklahoma's Attorney General Gentner Drummond is suing the statewide charter school board after it rejected a second effort to open a Jewish charter school. We have the details right after the break.
Look forward to taking all the great work we've worked on in Congress, supporting President Trump, making sure America's first, and taking that to the Senate on the next 6 years.
Well, Congressman Kevin Hern is officially running for a soon-to-be vacant U.S. Senate seat. I'm Robin Marsh. What the early polling numbers say about his chances in the Republican primary.
And a busy morning for Metro firefighters working to put out a house fire where a person was asleep inside. I'm Colby Thielen. We have the latest from investigators on scene ahead.
And I'm Lacey Lowry. Oops, look at this. Oklahoma City police find a car upside down on a Midtown roundabout.
Whoa.
Coming up, what the driver told officers at the wild scene.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Those roundabouts will get you. All right, we do want to remind you this morning we're live on the News 9 YouTube channel. We ask that you scan this QR code right here. It'll take you to the page, subscribe to our channel, and then hop into the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from this morning, and we'll read some of those comments throughout the newscast.
All right. Those roundabouts, yeah, they'll get you. The good
Come
thing
out of
is,
nowhere sometimes.
St. Anthony Hospital was right next to the store, so the driver is going to be okay.
She's fine.
She was taken to the hospital. It was a very short trip. It was a very short trip. Right now, we want to turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. It's a cold start out there this morning for first responders or anybody else walking out the front door. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey Swope.
Hi, Lacey.
Hey, Lacey.
Good morning, guys. You got to bundle up. But I'm telling you, when you drive through those roundabouts, do you ever see anyone ever enter them confidently?
No.
Every time everyone's looking at everyone
terrified.
I think the guy coming like on my left is just going to smack into me.
It feels that way, and they think you're going to slam into them.
I will say no other cars were involved in this morning's incident.
It was single, and thankfully she's going to be okay, but we can all relate to the chaos that goes into those suckers. All right, 28 degrees is the current temperature. It is very cold. Bundle up, layer up. That cold front slammed in. Coldest morning in about 3 weeks, guys. You definitely want to layer up, and there's some frost developing. Big wind maker is coming onto the Pacific Northwest coast. Those are high wind warnings. That'll be us eventually. Today, though, the wind's not as strong as yesterday, but we've been tracking severe weather down to the deep south. There have been multiple tornadoes with our cold front that blew in yesterday down in the deep south, and severe weather still ongoing in Georgia. Meanwhile, our skies are clear. It's 28 degrees at Will Rogers on our Lucky Star Skycam network, 32 in Guthrie, 29 in Stillwater. So from tornadoes, severe weather to now frosty conditions, and we will see 28 right now in Enid, down to 25 in Sealing, 39 in Woodward. So a light to a hard freeze to a frost, depending on your location. Winds are much calmer right now. They do pick up a little bit today, 15, 25. Highs much warmer than yesterday. Was cold. That wind was brutal. It was relentless. Today, 65 with sunshine. And coming up in full weather, fire danger ramps up because the drought rages on. Weekend divided with a strong cold front slamming in. Very windy and chilly on Sunday. Hard freeze early next week. We are not done with freezing temperatures, guys. And then some 80s, maybe 90s in the state. It's coming up. Back to you.
Oklahoma City firefighters say a mattress caught fire while a man was sleeping on it early this morning. This was the scene when firefighters got there at Northeast 36th and Lottie. This was just about an hour ago. Crews tell News 9 the man will be treated for smoke inhalation. He is expected to be okay, but he was taken away from the scene. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
It's very important in Oklahoma to have people who support Oklahoma values in the Senate. I think I've done that time and time again in my 8 years in Congress, and I continue to want to take that to the United States Senate and do the same thing.
Well, that is Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern officially announcing he is running for the soon-to-be vacant U.S. Senate seat in Oklahoma.
Yeah, as we've reported, Senator Markwayne Mullin, expected to leave his position once he is confirmed as the new Homeland Security Secretary.
Hern has served in the U.S. House since 2018. Now, we know the polls are already swirling as we expect more names to enter that race.
Yeah, the poll for the Republican primary also including Hern's chances against other speculated candidates.
Our Brianna Brown has been tracking the poll that just came out yesterday. She joins us with the details. Brianna?
Robin, yes, Conservative Political Action Committee, the Growth for
the Club for Growth released a poll for hypothetical GOP primary matchups for Oklahoma's Senate seat. Now, the group tells us that this poll gives a random sample of the population balanced by various demographics, including age, race, partisanship, where they live, and education. Now, in the case for Club for Growth, it measured matchups between Representative Kevin Hern and Governor Stitt, and Hern and Representative Stephanie Bice, with Hern projected to lead in both hypotheticals.
Whenever you see a survey from an interest group like Club for Growth or a specific candidate, you always have to make sure that it is scientifically done, that it's balanced, and it's transparent in the crosstabs that are available, as well as the questions and that kind of thing.
Now, the poll says that it measured likely a little over 500 Republican likely voters between March 7th and 9th over the phone, but has not detailed the questions that were asked. Here live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown for Oklahoma's Own News 9.
All right, Brianna, we'll be watching what happens as more people are expected to enter. We should mention on the Democrat side, Jim Priest has already entered the race to fill the U.S. Senate seat. Markwayne Mullen's confirmation hearing for Homeland Security Secretary nomination is set to begin next week on Capitol Hill, right in front of the U.S. Senate committee. And we also know Governor Kevin Stitt is in our nation's capital. He's still there, and our sources on Capitol Hill say our governor is going to be talking with congressional leaders about the appointment to fill the interim Mullen Senate seat. While Stitt is out of state, Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell is the acting Oklahoma governor.
Now the story that's got us scratching our heads a little bit. Overnight, officers find a car upside down in a roundabout. This was right near Northwest 10th and Chartel, right by SSM. This happened just before midnight. Officers say the driver is from Texas, told officers she didn't know that roundabout was there. Well, police say that woman wasn't hurt, but was still checked out at the hospital.
A horrific crash. Watch this new security camera video showing the moments a truck hit a car head on and then burst into flames at Reno and Rockwell. This was yesterday afternoon. Just terrifying. Officers say 2 people were taken to the hospital. A lot of Good Samaritans rushed over and pulled these people from the wreckage. Separately, police say a semi-truck driver was actually detained at the scene after he tried to drive around the roadblocks set up by officers. So kind of a wild scene yesterday afternoon. In Edmond, firefighters say they are unbelievably relieved that no one was hurt. No injuries at all in this fiery crash on I-35 near Covell. State troopers say a car ran under a semi-trailer when traffic started slowing down, causing cooking oil to ignite. Oh my goodness. Both drivers made it out as the flames just erupted. Look at the end result here. Again, no one even hurt. OHP says the car driver was ticketed for driving following too closely.
That is a miracle. Yeah. Everyone's okay. Other headlines right now, state investigators say they are stopping the search for those 2 missing Oklahoma girls last seen from Welch, Oklahoma back in 1999. Investigators believe Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman were killed and kidnapped. Their remains have never been found. The OSBI, though, spent the last 3 days searching in Kansas near the state line, but we are told they did not find anything.
It's been 26 years, so anytime we come on site, you know that it could be profitable or it could end with nothing. So my thing is, if they do this, they get there and they're done and the girls aren't there, now we know they're not at the scales. Now where do we go?
Still heartbreaking for the family members who just say they want some answers. The OSBI says its investigation, though, is not over. The OSBI is asking anyone with information about what happened to these 2 girls from Welch, Oklahoma, to please contact the tip line.
Storm cleanup is just starting in Love County after that community was hit hard by severe storms and heavy winds. Officials are assessing the damage in Marietta. Look at your screen. We know one homeowner actually left to pick up pizza on Tuesday night, came home, and their house was torn apart. We spoke to a neighbor who lived right behind that home. Take a listen.
Next thing you know, the house shook like crazy. It was the weirdest sound. And the electricity kind of went off real early. We're like, well, that's kind of soon after, a storm started. And we stepped outside, and it was a little different when you stepped outside compared to what you thought it was.
Now, despite all this damage, the Love County Sheriff says there were no fatalities, and they are so thankful for that.
How about in El Reno, where a hotel near Highway 81 and I-40 is still missing parts of its roof after those strong winds ripped it away. It's the same area a deadly EF3 tornado touched down 6 years ago. No injuries, though, have been reported in this storm so far.
Boy, it brings back bad memories.
Yeah,
That's
sure
for
does.
sure to see that. Lacey, you were tracking all that as it was coming through the metro fast and furious.
Yeah, very, very lucky, honestly, in Oklahoma County. That thing didn't drop any additional tornadoes. Now, I was also helping to track that storm 6 years ago that hit that same hotel. That was a QLCS tornado. That was a tornado embedded in a line. Typically, those tornadoes are zeros or ones. That was a drill bit that hit that hotel 6 years ago, an EF3, and that kind of changed the way we look at those types of tornadoes because they can be very strong as well. A lot of folks cleaning up, guys, across Oklahoma after all the severe weather, and now the cold front has slammed in. So we've gone from spring thunderstorms and severe storms to now 20s. Frosty conditions, cold and windy yesterday. As you're heading out this morning, the crescent moon up over the horizon. You might have to use the defroster a little bit or scrape a little frost off your windshield. We're in the 20s, the 30s, we'll be up to the 50s and eventually the 60s this afternoon. This evening, the big Thunder game at home. We'll talk about the forecast for the Paycom Center. We'll also talk about a big cold front for your weekend. It's coming up.
Next on News 9, the small community of Beggs, Oklahoma, remembering the husband and wife who lost their lives in that Friday night tornado. We're talking with the family next.
All right, just into the newsroom, 2.9 earthquake moments ago in Calumet.
Whoa.
So hello, Calumet. You're probably awake now. I don't know. Can you kind of feel that?
There's a whole lot of shaking going on, right?
Over the last month, right up there in those same areas, there have been so many smaller magnitude earthquakes.
That's when you want that mattress where you can drop the bowling ball and the glass of
And
wine
not feel
doesn't
it.
spill. That's when you want that mattress.
Don't interrupt the sleep.
Yeah,
It's a precious commodity around here, right?
It is, and it's been quiet overnight. No storms overnight, which has been good.
Cold though, right?
But it's been cold for
Yeah.
sure. Big change. And so we've had so much severe weather over the past week or so. I put a call here out on social media and just said, hey, send me your safe spot. So many people took shelter at one time or another over the past week, and we got hundreds of people sending in selfies from when they took shelter. And I just want to show these because it is the cool thing to do. I'm not going to stop you from going out and looking, and I get it. But when something is threatening your area and you have to take shelter, this is the way to do it. Oh, did I sit my... No!
Hold on. More.
Wait.
Hang on. She's got to hit the
I'm
space
running.
bar, guys.
Thanks,
She hit the emergency button.
I did.
Straight to the 9-day.
I want to show you this little precious baby.
There we go,
in her
okay.
helmet. There we go. So this is what you do. Okay, so many people in Oklahoma do not have shelters. They don't have cellars, official tornado shelters, and that's totally fine. Go to a small room, innermost portion of your home. It's usually a closet or a bathroom. Put the helmet on the kiddos and go just hang out for a little bit and let the storm pass you by. So thank you, Lexi, for sending this picture of your baby. Yes, the diaper bag, good to go. I love this picture too. Edward sent this of the grandma here and the baby, the youngest granddaughter. They have on leather flight jackets, which is a great idea. The helmet, the goggles, the blankets, the pillows in the bathroom, and they're good to go. Just go there, hang out. And this was the case for so many Okies over the past week or so now, because last Thursday, a week ago, is when we had 4 tornadoes in northwest Oklahoma. And a lot of times these storms, they end up not touching down, or if they do, the damage is very isolated, but we've seen the threat of what they can do. We've had 4 Oklahomans lose their lives in the past week. Friday, now we added another tornado to eastern Oklahoma from Friday. That's from Okfuskee County, from Okemah. That was an EF0. That puts the tornado count at 13. Now, as far as what's going on to the north, high wind warnings, big storm system headed our way. We had a big cold front yesterday, and that wind was awful yesterday. You look outside, it looked pretty nice. You step out, that north wind had a bite to it. It was relentless all day. Now that front is down through portions of Alabama and Georgia with ongoing tornado watch, and I've had several tornadoes overnight in the deep south. We have been quiet, and we've fallen all the way down to 28 degrees at Will Rogers, 31 in Guthrie, 32 in Chandler, 36 in Byers, 29 in Hinton, 28 degrees in Camargo, 30 in Hobart. Many areas are dealing with a light to even a hard freeze, and winds are light, 5 to 10 miles per hour. So as you're getting the kiddos ready for school today, layer up. You want the coat this morning. Winds are fairly light. Winds do pick up today, but they're 15 to 25. They're not crazy like they were yesterday. Mid-60s with sunshine is what we're expecting, and a few 70s going on in the northwest. Now, because of the wind, which will be gusting 30, we might have a few isolated gusts to 40 today out west, and low humidity, where we have the drought ongoing, of course, moderate to high fire danger, it will prevail. And we're talking high fire danger heading to Sunday because of this big area of low pressure, very deep storm system, meaning the winds will really pick up with it as it arrives, and it's really going to drop the temperature, but it's bringing very little in the way of moisture. In fact, looking ahead over the next 9 days, we have a slight chance of some showers Sunday. The rest of the region, it looks dry. Fire danger, drought. That is the headline, and we're talking some big time heat as we head into next week. But we still got a strong cold front to get through. Weak front arrives tonight. We're in the 40s. Friday, tomorrow, beautiful. We'll have a northeast breeze, 5-15. Might have a couple gusts to 20. Winds relax in the afternoon, 70s and 80s. Now, Saturday is warm. It'll feel hot. Close to records. South breeze in 80s is what we're expecting. Sunday, our high is midnight. Temperatures drop through the day. This is a snapshot at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 40s, strong winds, anywhere from 35 to 45 with isolated gusts to 50 on Sunday, giving us high fire danger and wind chill values Sunday down into the 20s and low 30s by the afternoon with another hard freeze. In fact, by the time we get to Monday morning, we'll have temperatures in the lower and mid 20s by Monday. So I've had so many questions from gardeners and people just want to plant their flowers. Don't do it yet. 49 on Monday, 70 on Tuesday, mid, even upper 80s, guys, as we head towards the end of next week. I'll send it back to you.
In northeast Oklahoma, the Beggs community is mourning the loss of a husband and wife. This family is devastated as they were killed by an EF3 tornado.
The couple died Friday after that tornado ripped through their home. News 9's Cal Day spoke with their loved ones and shares how the couple is now being remembered.
This is where the house was. This was the porch. So you can see it's all pretty well gone.
These cinder blocks are all that's left of Todd and Becky McClellan's home. The rest is scattered in these trees across the family's 80-acre property.
This road wasn't here, right here. And that storm just looks like it just made a road through here.
Bo Forehand walks around in shock. Vehicles tossed around like toys and barns leveled to the ground gives him a harsh understanding of what an EF3 tornado can do. The hardest part is knowing his sister and brother-in-law are gone.
They were just good people, you know, and sometimes good people have to go, you know.
Bo says Todd and Becky were well known in their community, but the love for their family is how he'll remember them best. They hardly miss cheer or sporting events for their grandkids. Their youngest son, Ace, lived just feet away in a different home on their property.
When the storm hit, he was holding on to his girlfriend. It was trying to suck them out of the house, and it eventually did.
Ace is pretty beat up after surviving the storm. He has bruises and a broken arm. Though the storm is long gone, Bo is busy picking up what's left of his loved ones' lives.
We'll make it through it. It's going to be long. It's going to be tough. Like I said before, when you got good, close family and good friends, you'd be surprised what you can get through.
In Okmulgee County, Cal Day, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Bo says Ace is being released from the hospital, but will have a long road to recovery. Volunteers will help clean up the family's property this coming weekend.
Still to come here on News 9, the new sculpture making its mark in Bricktown. What city officials say was the inspiration behind it. It's after this.
Head in the cloud.
Based on where it is and based on, I think, on its attractiveness, it's going to be a real statement. It's going to show up in a lot of Instagram posts, especially from visitors.
Well, he's talking about this right here. You're looking at the
there it is.
24-foot art installation in Bricktown. It's called the Cloud Embrace, and it features painted panels that reflect different colors throughout the day, depending on what the sun's doing. Officials say it's inspired by our iconic Oklahoma skies, and you can find it near the Harkins Theater.
This is beautiful. We talked about this when they first announced it, and to see it in person, look at those colors, you guys.
And the colors they're making on the ground, the
yes,
pavement around
looks
them.
Great.
I tell you, when that storm came through the other night, the clouds downtown were every color, it seemed like.
Oh my gosh,
It's
yes.
wild footage.
That's where the old Bricktown fountain was, apparently, that was removed 20 years ago. I think this is a good addition.
There you go.
Cloud Embrace.
There
Yeah.
you go.
See it on Instagram starting
Take
probably
some
very soon.
selfies there.
I was going to say, I'll probably put it on my Instagram. I got called out by the mayor, I feel like.
All right, hey, we're nearing 5:30. We're watching the forecast for today. Hey, the weekend's almost here, Lacey. We're ready for it.
We're getting very close. It's a wild weekend. Huge ups and then real low lows.
Oh, no.
Coming up, and a lot of wind, too.
Thanks, friend.
We'll talk about your weekend coming up for sure. Right now, we're starting off in the 20s, the 30s. As you're heading on your Thursday, layer up, bundle up. It is cold. You might even have a little frost on your windshield, down to 28 in Oklahoma City. Coldest temperature since February 22nd. It's been a while. Then this afternoon, back to the 60s. Now, high fire danger today. We'll talk about any rain chances and that wild weekend swing coming up.
And still ahead, growing tensions between Oklahoma County officials after jail staff members get pay raises, apparently without approval. Who signed off? There's a $5 million budget shortfall, so this is a hot topic. The action one commissioner wants to take, it's next at 5:30.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 this morning.
Your top stories: Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern is the first Republican to announce a campaign for the soon-to-be vacated seat of U.S. Senator Markwayne Mullin. Hern will run in November in hopes of taking Mullin's Senate spot when Mullin becomes the new Homeland Security Secretary, pending confirmation.
Oklahoma City firefighters say a mattress caught fire while a man was sleeping on the mattress early this morning. It happened in a neighborhood near Northeast 36th and Lottie. This was just an hour ago. Crews say the man will be treated for smoke inhalation. He is expected to be okay. The cause of that fire is under investigation.
And overnight, officers find a car upside down in a roundabout right near Northwest 10th and Chartel. It happened just before midnight. Officers say the driver is from Texas and she didn't know that there was a roundabout there, so that's what she told them. Police say the woman wasn't hurt, but was still checked out at the hospital.
Why do you have to add she's from Texas?
Because she's from out of town, so she may have not known the roundabout.
You know why we have to. Come on now. Get them horns down.
Like he just stuck that detail in there.
Not the only thing upside down.
There you go. Give me some love on that one, Colby. That was good. Okay.
We want to remind you, you can get all of this live right now on the News 9 YouTube channel. Just scan this QR code. It'll take you there. You can subscribe, leave any comments, questions right there in the live chat. We'll get to them throughout
She's
the
going to
show.
be okay. That's why we can have a little fun. Those roundabouts can get you, though, can't they?
They sure can. Sometimes they come out of nowhere.
They don't have roundabouts.
Who put that roundabout there?
They don't have them in Texas, apparently. So I've heard.
All right. Welcome to Oklahoma, sister. All right. We're talking our weather for today. A little colder. Grab the coat if you're headed out the door, Lacey.
That was the very first detail I noticed of that video. It really was.
And you're like,
so
oh,
too. The
explains
license tag.
everything.
There you
Yes,
go.
absolutely. But be aware, be alert. How fast was that vehicle going? That's one of the big questions I have for that to happen from making a turn. Anyway, here's what we're talking about as well as for the cold temperatures that are in place. It's a freeze for Oklahoma this morning. You want to layer up, bundle up. But the big question is, will we see more? So many folks are wanting to plant. So many of the trees have budded, bloomed. We've got leaves now on the trees. We have another hard freeze in the forecast, and our average final freeze is usually around March 30th. So just hold on a little bit longer. We will be very warm as we head through the next couple of days. 72 tomorrow, 80 on Saturday. Huge dip in the road. Sunday, Monday, and in fact, Monday morning, a hard freeze again. Then we're back into the 80s, and we'll have some 90s in the state, the way it looks, close to record highs by the end of next week. But right now, we're a far cry from the 80s. We are down to the 20s. 28, it feels very cold as you head out. Winds are fairly light, though. They were ripping yesterday, not this morning. 29 in Stillwater, 31 in Chandler, 30 in Purcell. Light winds, 5 to 10, and this afternoon, they'll be about 10 to 20. A couple gusts to 25, and we'll see highs reach the mid-60s with sunny skies. Coming up in full weather, we have a lot to get to. Talk about the weekend and that front and that hard freeze early next week. And what about any rain? That's full weather. Back to you.
A jury finds a Metro woman guilty for a 2020 fatal shooting. Investigators say the suspect, Patricia Onyekwere, shot and killed Vanita Gates in April of 2020 after an argument near Southwest 67th and Penn. This week, a jury convicted her of second-degree murder. She will be sentenced next month. Meanwhile, a judge issues a victim protective order for 3 years against Oklahoma County Commissioner Miles Davidson. The woman who filed it accused him of making unwanted sexual advances and stalking her. Now, the Oklahoma Attorney General says there was not enough evidence to file criminal charges against Davidson. Davidson has denied any wrongdoing.
Well, more drama around the Oklahoma County Jail. Now we know county commissioners are moving forward with building a new county jail despite being short millions of dollars.
With a 2-to-1 vote, they approved a nearly $214 million agreement with construction company Flintco for the first phase of that project.
And in that same meeting, the board also deferred a vote to request an audit of the jail's trust finances stemming from unauthorized pay raises for county jail staff.
One person can't make the decision and go against an entire organization. Exactly what I felt was done with that vote. I believe it was, insubordination, to be quite frank.
All right, so the big question now, who approved the nearly $250,000 in pay raises for jail staff against the trust's wishes? We went digging and found out.
Yeah, News 9's Stephanie Minichi shows us who and breaks down the concerns from commissioners.
We're trying to figure out how we got to this point.
It's a $5.8 million budget shortfall, along with unauthorized pay raises County Commissioner Jason Lowe is referring to.
The jail trust authorized a pay increase or raises for 100 employees when we are in a budget deficit of approximately $5 million.
In January, the trust passed a freeze on salary increases. Lowe says the chairman, however, unilaterally approved nearly $250,000 in raises after the board voted against it. In a heated exchange at the jail trust meeting Tuesday, trustees pushed jail administrator Tim Kimry for answers.
The answer to your question is no.
Did you authorize
No.
the raises? You didn't?
No.
You didn't authorize. So they just kind of fell out of the sky. It just fell out of the sky with a pen to authorize raises, and you didn't authorize it. Did the board chair, did you authorize them? Lord have mercy.
These employees are in need of a pay raise. They do a great job, but at this point in time, we can't afford to give pay raises to over 100 people when you're crying broke.
In a letter dated February 5th, Jim Holman, the chairman of the County Criminal Justice Authority, wrote that he agreed to and approved the raises. The increase includes benefits and would be for detention officers from about $41,000 to $47,000 a year.
They had that on the agenda where they indicated that they were not going to move forward with any pay raises.
Stephanie Minichi, Oklahoma's own News 9.
And Commissioner Lowe was the one who wants the audit into the jail trust's finances. Right now, they are waiting on an opinion from the Attorney General before requesting it.
The Oklahoma Attorney General is suing the statewide charter school board after the board rejected an effort to open a Jewish charter school in Oklahoma. The Florida-based Ben Gamla Jewish Charter School Foundation applied to expand a virtual Jewish education option for K through 12th grade students here in Oklahoma, but the virtual charter board has now turned them down twice. Most recently, this week, board members say Ben Gamla had fixed most of their initial concerns in a revised application, except for the requirements to not have a religious affiliation.
I personally don't think the reasons that our council stated for the number of students from their LOI versus what they potentially would enroll would be enough for us to reject that application. I think there's enough just simply on the religious teaching aspect of it.
So the AG argues the board did not follow state law because they only listed religion as a reason for the rejection. The AG is asking a judge to require the board members to list all the reasons for denying Ben Gamla, arguing, quote, Oklahoma law does not permit the board to strategically withhold valid grounds for rejection, and this court should compel it to fulfill its duty.
Well, 5:38, and our hearts going out to the Grady County community. In fact, the community rallying now, trying to raise money to support a sheriff's captain still recovering from a bad motorcycle crash. Captain Terry Alexander was thrown off his bike on Christmas. Here's his picture. We know he has suffered severe injuries to his spine and his legs and a traumatic brain injury. Loved ones say that he is still in a Dallas hospital this morning and that the medical bills are piling up. The community down there in Grady County and Chickasha has a big fundraiser. They're going to be selling biscuits, cinnamon rolls, and they're also raffling off a nice watch that's worth more than $500. So these fundraisers will be April 11th at the Grady County Fairgrounds there in Chickasha.
It's been so moving to see all of his colleagues rallying, trying to get as much money and donations as they can for his treatment.
Well, it's definitely a family.
Well, you can tell he's loved, absolutely.
Yeah, April 11th. If you can go support that fundraiser,
Absolutely.
it's certainly something to do. Let's turn now to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey Swope standing by with a cold start to your Thursday morning, Lacey.
Remember the 20s? Seems like a while back since we've been that cold. We're in the 20s currently across Oklahoma, and it's a little frosty in spots as well. Upper 20s at Will Rogers. We bottomed out around 28, but there have been some lower mid-20s depending on your location. Big cold front barreled through yesterday. It was windy. Today, a little bit gusty as well with high fire danger, but we're much warmer into the afternoon. In fact, we're climbing back to the 80s for parts of your weekend, but a cold front slams in Sunday. Do you have plans this weekend? You're going to want to see the forecast coming up.
If you're headed out the door this morning, you want to see the traffic report. Megan Gold working on it. There's our Lucky Star Skycam network. Yep, folks already getting an early jump on the morning drive as we're trying to near the 5 o'clock hour. We'll have traffic for you coming up.
6 o'clock hour.
6 o'clock hour, thank you.
Moving right along.
Boy, I tell you, it's already been an active spring. We've had 15 at least tornadoes for the month of March, possibly 17 if you count the 2 from just a couple of days ago. And our chief meteorologist, David Payne, is looking over the upcoming storm season data to see how busy our spring will continue to be. Don't miss his severe weather forecast. Everyone loves kind of his analysis of this. It's tonight at 10, the special report right here on News 9.
There you go. So many people wondering, especially because this morning we're in the 20s. We're
Right.
talking about severe weather and tornadoes. It's just Oklahoma weather.
It feels more like February than February did. That's crazy.
Yeah, we kind of flip February and March, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we had all the severe weather to start March, and that's common in the month of March at some point. Usually it's kind of towards the later part. Spring officially, as far as the equinox goes, is Friday of next week.
Begins.
It's when it begins.
Oh, wow.
Right, but we're already past
Girl,
that.
we already
Meteorological
moved past that,
spring
right?
is
Yeah.
upon us.
Yes, it's already been hot. We've already had tornadoes, and yeah, it's been wild. But what's it going to look like as we head towards April and May? He's got a really
Yikes.
detailed forecast tonight that you don't want to miss.
I don't know if we want to know, but we need to know, right?
I know.
You should start preparing. We'll just say it looks active, and we're already seeing that play out. Now, as far as being active and what you need to do, we always talk about know your safe place, because so many folks, so many Okies had to take shelter at some point or another over last week, even a Tuesday. And so I just asked for you to send your pictures of you and your family in your safe place. Did I do it again? What is going on? I think my graphic must have a hot button on it. That's my fault. Hold
I
on.
think you're supposed to put a quarter in before you do that one, Lacey.
I'm going to change the batteries on that clicker, okay?
I really think it's user error, my graphic. It's a combination of all the things. This is what I want to show you, though. Take a look. How awesome is it? Take the dogs, take the pets, make a plan. If you have dogs, cats, any type of a pet, and you plan your safe spot and you plan where you'll go and kind of do the drills, which you should be doing with your family, include your pets. Because a lot of times we find that it takes people longer to take shelter because they hadn't considered what to do with their pets. So Mike, thank you for sending that picture. I love this one that Sharon sent to the kiddos. This is exactly perfect, okay? They have the blankets on, they have long sleeves, the helmets on the heads, and they are in the bathtub with the dog, and they're just gonna ride it out, hang out, lowest level, center portion of your home, whether it's a closet, whether it's a bathroom or a bathtub. That's what you should do, and that is your safe place. Now, if you have a shelter or if you have a cellar, that's great. This picture Kaylee sent in, this is her neighbor's house. She said, we don't have a place that I feel safe in, so she had made arrangements, and the neighborhood said, yeah, bring your babies over, bring your kids over, get in our safe room, and we're gonna be good to go. If you don't feel like your home has adequate shelter or you live in a mobile home, make a plan ahead of time with a neighbor, with a relative, and go there with enough time to seek shelter, because it has been active. On the 5th, that was Thursday, 4 confirmed tornadoes. Friday, on Friday the 6th, we had 9 confirmed tornadoes, added that one from Okemah, which you saw live here on News 9. That was an EF0. And then Tuesday, near Tuttle, near Mustang, Val had that live. Mason Dunn had them live. They were weak, they were brief. They only lasted like 10 or 15 seconds. That would be an additional 2. Surveys are still being done. We'll see what the final count is. We are nearing records for the month of March. High wind warnings, they are in effect right now for the north with our next big storm system. That's what's going to arrive, bringing us warm weather on the south side, very cold windy weather on the back side. We've had severe weather overnight, more tornadoes down in Alabama and Georgia, and that severe line is still ongoing. But as it moves away from us, today's a clear day. It's a cold day. It's 28 degrees as you step out, 27 in El Reno, 25 now in Chickasha, 27 in Bristow, hard freeze, some frost because our winds are light, wind chills and temperature. This is not the wind chill, this is the air temperature, but across the state, 20s and 30s going on, and your hour by hour forecast, 40s by 10. And watch the warm up today. It's a pretty big one. Sunshine and mid 60s later today, pretty close to just an average March day, but the winds pick up. 15, 25, and we could have gusts to 30 in the northwest, which would lead to high fire danger. So be very careful today, and as long as the drought rages on, as long as we pick up the winds, we're just going to continue to have high fire danger, and we're watching the next big storm over the northwest as it arrives. Very slight chance of rain, and we are going into a dry spell, so the drought and fire danger will be the headline. Tonight, we fall into the 40s, another weak front, a little gusty tonight and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, it is beautiful for your Friday. 70s, northeast winds, 10 to 20. Now hot on Saturday, 80s on the way, and then Sunday, a strong cold front arrives. And when that front pushes in, Sunday afternoon will feel like the 20s and 30s. High fire danger because the winds will be 20 to 40, 45, isolated gusts to 50, and a hard freeze early Monday morning. I'll send it back to you guys.
Friday is a beautiful thing no matter what. We're glad to see the weather will cooperate as well. Right now it's 5:49. Time to take a check of traffic this morning. Taking a live look from our Stephen Owsley. That's the big shot you're seeing here on the right side of your screen. This is Southeast 51st and I-35. As you know, later in the morning, this can be a pretty tricky area. So far, things moving along smoothly. No major incidents to report. Of course, we'll continue checking the traffic. The latest, we'll bring that to you right here and on the News 9 app.
Yeah, it was kind of nervous just because we didn't know like what would happen if it hit here, just with all the animals and stuff.
Chaos erupts at the Oklahoma State Fairgrounds as a tornado-warned storm moved through the metro. Basketball games were going on. The Youth Expo was happening. We'll take you inside and speak to some of the people who were there next. Welcome back. We are streaming live on our News 9 YouTube channel. We've asked you to subscribe to leave your comments, and here's what we're hearing. Renee, one of our top commenters, says I wouldn't go into the shelter without my fur baby.
Oh, we like your thinking.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
feel the same way, Renee. Also, Anthony on the chat this morning, he says, good morning, news team. Bit chilly this morning.
Chilly, yeah. 20 degrees, is that what you said out
28.
there? In the 20s?
Yeah, in the 20s.
What was the high the other day when it was so nice?
Upper 80s. We've had mid-upper
80s.
80s. Yeah, and we have upper 80s returning as well.
Okay.
It's 90s.
We
Oh my
just,
gosh.
we're on a roller
All over
coaster
the
ride
place.
around
I was
here.
going to say March had a soft opening, but it's not
No.
soft at all,
No,
really.
hard and
Soft
fast.
launch.
That's the way that went. Severe weather, tornadoes, closing in on record tornadoes for the month of March.
Already?
The record is 17. Yeah, it's crazy. Surveys being done. And today is a colder day, but quiet this afternoon, with the exception of the wildfire danger. Everyone be careful. High fire danger, especially in the west. Winds aren't as strong as yesterday, but we'll see mid-60s for highs.
Well, tornado-warned storms in the metro this week put a pause on events at the Oklahoma State Fairgrounds. Thousands of people at the State High School Basketball Championship and the Oklahoma Youth Expo had to hunker down, and we have the video. News 9 Shelby Love spoke to some of the people who were there.
The sounds of pig squeals and fans cheering
were soon drowned out by the wailing of tornado sirens at the OKC Fairgrounds.
This is about my third year here, and I've never had something like this happen. And it's kind of crazy.
This wasn't Wade Hill's first time riding out a storm.
I'm from Bridge Creek, and that's where the May 3rd, 99 came through, so I'm not too scared of tornadoes.
Still, it caught him a little off guard.
We actually ended up leaving to try and get back to the hotel, and then we were right under it, so we came back.
Most either took shelter in the barn bathrooms, the Bennett Event Center, or, like true Oklahomans, stood outside to get a good view.
I mean, there was probably 100 people out there just watching the storm go by.
People also kept their cool on the court in the new OG&E Coliseum as they filed out of the stands into a hallway under the bleachers made of cinder blocks. Tommy Dixon was at the game and said it all went very smooth.
I think they were used to it and they were ready for it. It was no big surprise.
We were following David Payne on News 9, making sure we were safe.
Shelby Love, Oklahoma's own News 9.
They just picked right back up. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
In a bathroom.
storms pass, yeah, get on out there.
In a bathroom stall with 30 of your new best friends.
The phones lit up.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was people were messaging like crazy because parents who weren't with their kids were like, what is happening at the fairgrounds?
Right.
And originally the main mezzo was going over the airport south of I-40. Then it included the new mezzo started just west of the airport. So or just west of the fairgrounds. So very, very lucky that it did not touch down again. No damage, nothing like that. But that was a potent storm, and that was
And you got a lot of
people.
money there with everyone's animals.
I
and
love that they had that
trailers and all
plan,
that.
though.
Yeah.
They said time out, go under cinder blocks, and then 25 minutes later, okay, we're good.
And they calmly followed orders.
Yep, there you go, Oklahoma.
That wasn't on the bingo card to be in the bathroom stall with 30 people, huh?
Imagine. Ever.
No. All right, coming up here on News 9, Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern throwing his hat in the ring to fill a soon-to-be vacant U.S. Senate seat. What early polling reveals about his chances? It's coming up at 6.
about this, as bad as we're right here in March, we're going to have a bad year, guys. So that's just the way it is. Everybody better just get ready.
Good words of advice. A Marietta business owner worried about what's to come after strong winds hit the town and cause damage. I'm Lacey Lowry. Right now on News 9 at 6 o'clock, we take a look at the damage left behind and speak with more residents there.
Oh, politics in Oklahoma, and now Congressman Kevin Hern announces he is running for the U.S. Senate seat set to be vacated by Mark Wayne Mullen, who's going to be in the Trump cabinet. I'm Robin Marsh. What the polling says about Kevin Hern's chances in that race, it's ahead.
I'm Colby Thielen. 2 drivers escape a fiery crash on I-35. It shut down the interstate for hours, while one of them ended up with a ticket. It's coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Good Thursday morning. Glad you're here with us on News 9. It is a chilly start to the day, so grab that jacket as you're heading out the door.
Oh, you'll need it. The other day you needed the sunscreen.
I know.
Today
We
you need
went
the
from
blazer,
hot
right?
to tornadoes to cold. It'll kind of take your breath away if you're not prepared because that wind has a little bite to it.
But no worries. We'll be hot once again very soon. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey Swope standing by. Hey, Lacey.
It's a roller coaster ride. Good morning, guys. This is what we always talk about in Oklahoma, springtime and in the fall too, when we're kind of trying to shift things around with the seasons. Weather gets a little volatile, and we've already seen that. We have seen multiple tornadoes. I'll be showing you the latest count coming up and where we're sitting with those surveys. No severe weather in the forecast and very little in the way of rain over the next 8 to 9 days. We're going into a dry, windier pattern at times, and that means more fire danger. This morning, it's all about the cold. High pressure is sitting in behind that big cold front that barreled in here yesterday. That front has moved into the deep south. It sparked multiple tornadoes overnight last night. Confirmed tornado now in southern Georgia with that storm system as it's working its way across the deep south. So it's left us in the 20s. You're going to step outside and feel 24 El Reno, 26 in Piedmont, 32 in Norman, 30 in Clinton. We've warmed a couple of degrees at Will Rogers. We bottomed out at 28 earlier. Winds are light. They're 5 to 10 miles per hour, and it is beautiful, but you might have a little frost to contend with. Now, temperatures, they warm up to near 80 for your Saturday. Strong cold front arrives with a hard freeze by Monday morning. Coming up in full weather, we have a lot to talk about with the fire danger. We're looking for rain chances. More on that weekend divided and how cold we get Monday morning. It's coming up. Colby.
Lacey, thank you. Let's go to the northeast side of Oklahoma City, where fire crews say a mattress caught fire while a man was sleeping on it. Happened around 3:30 this morning at a home right near Northeast 34th and Lottie, a neighborhood there. Our crews were on scene. They saw a firefighter board up that home after they put the fire out. We're told the man is being treated right now for smoke inhalation, but is expected to survive. The cause right now still under investigation.
A judge grants a protective order filed against Oklahoma County Commissioner Miles Davidson. A woman filed the protective order back in September, accusing Davidson of groping her, making unwanted sexual advances, and stalking her. Well, last week, the Oklahoma Attorney General decided not to criminally charge Davidson in this case. Davidson says he did nothing wrong. The judge, though, granted the victim protective order for 3 years. And you have to look at this. A car winds up like this in northwest Oklahoma City, upside down on the roundabout. Look at that. This happened right before midnight at Northwest 10th and Chartel. Police tell us the driver was from Texas, and she said she didn't know the roundabout was there. She was not hurt, but officers sent her to the hospital just to be checked out. Only that one car was involved.
All right, you got to watch the driver of the red truck in this video. It's caught on camera. Look there on the left side of your screen. Oklahoma City police arrest one man responsible for that bad crash. This was on Rockwell near Melrose Lane yesterday. Witnesses at the scene say a driver crashed head-on into a car and it burst into flames. Police say 2 people were taken onto the hospital. At this point, their names and conditions have not been released. We know the driver of that red truck was detained after police say he drove around a roadblock that officers had set up. And in Edmond, fire crews say 2 drivers escape a crash between a semi and a car on I-35. Look at the video here. It was unbelievable. This was yesterday. The southbound lanes of I-35 right at that popular Covell exit. The Highway Patrol says the driver of the car went under the big rig, and that's when the big crash happened. And look at the fumes and the fire there. We're told the semi was hauling cooking oil. Highway Patrol says the driver of the car jumped out right before that fire. They ended up getting a ticket for following too closely.
6:05 your time right now. Let's see how we're doing this morning on the drive. Our Kylie Dedman is out on the roadways. Kylie, tell us where you are and how things are looking. All right, I don't think, Kylie, I don't think we have your mic, but if you can hear us, you can go ahead at any time. But looks like they're out on I-35, I'm guessing, but things look really...
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Kylie.
Hey, Kylie.
Okay, cool. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, so we were traveling southbound on I-35, and unlike what just happened with my mic, roads are looking really good right now, so there's been no problems out on the roadway. There was a small rollover early this morning before 4 o'clock up in Edmond, but things have been cleared and roads are now looking really good. Traveling southbound right now again on I-35, and roads are looking good. We'll be out on the roadway, so we'll keep you updated on any wrecks that we've been seeing, but we haven't heard of anything in a good while, so of course we'll keep you updated. But reporting live here in southbound I-35, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, Kylie, thanks for that report. Republican U.S. Representative Kevin Hern announces that he is considering the U.S. open Senate seat right now. He's considering it, not only considering it, but running. This comes as Donald Trump nominated Senator Markwayne Mullin to lead the Department of Homeland Security. He still has to be confirmed, but Representative Hern says that he is running to be a loyal ally to the president in the Senate. So what are the polls saying? Well, they're already swirling this morning, as you might imagine, as we expect more names to enter the candidate pool. The poll for Republican primary also including Hern's chances against other speculated candidates. Let's go to our Brianna Brown. She's been tracking those polls and joins us with the latest. Brianna, good morning.
Good morning, Colby. Yes, Conservative Political Action Committee, the Club for Growth, released a poll for the hypothetical GOP primary matchups for Oklahoma's Senate seat. Now, the group tells us that polls like these take a random survey of the population with balanced by various demographics, including age, race, partisanship, where they live, and education. Now, in the case of Club for Growth, it measured matchups between Representative Kevin Hern and Governor Kevin Stitt, and Hern and Representative Stephanie Bice, with Hern projected to lead in both hypotheticals.
Whenever you see a survey from an interest group like Club for Growth or a specific candidate, you always have to make sure that it is scientifically done, that it's balanced, and it's transparent in the crosstabs that are available, as well as the questions and that kind of thing.
Now, the poll says that it measured just over 500 likely Republican primary voters over the phone from March 7th to March 9th, but did not detail the questions that were asked. Here live in Oklahoma City, Brianna Brown for Oklahoma's own News 9.
All right, Brianna, we'll certainly be following the latest. In the meantime, Democrat Jim Priest also entered that race to fill the open Senate seat.
An El Reno hotel is needing repairs after Tuesday's damaging storms. Look at this hotel. This is near Highway 81 and I-40. It's partially missing its roof after those strong winds. This is the same area that a deadly EF3 tornado touched down 6 years ago. Now, there are no reports of injuries in this week's storms at that El Reno hotel, and we're trying to figure out how much damage, money-wise, that storm caused the hotel. Officials say no tornado touched down in Love County, but powerful winds caused significant damage in Marietta. County officials say multiple structures were damaged, including homes and motels and businesses. With the storm, one business owner says she's now worried for the storm season to come.
Y'all think about this. As bad as we're right here in March, we're going to have a bad year, guys. So that's just the way it is. Everybody better just get ready.
The business owner says her store was not damaged, but the roof from a nearby motel was ripped off and landed by her building, and everyone knows everyone there in Marietta.
Maybe she's already seen David Payne's severe weather outlook coming tonight at 10. I tell you what, the Department of Emergency Management says if you have damage from these recent storms, please report it. Damage.ok.gov. They say reporting the damage helps both state and local authorities locate those impacted areas and connect Oklahomans with the much needed resources. That big report from David tonight at 10. And boy, it's already been an active season, and we're just the first 2 weeks into March.
Which is crazy. You know, it can always be volatile like this, but we're all over the map, it feels like, with the temperatures too.
We're hoping that she's wrong, that it's not going to be a bad season. But she is right when she says prepare for what's ahead.
Yeah, don't be scared, be prepared.
Exactly. That's what we talked to Lacey Swope. Before you go, what do we need to prepare for this morning, Lacey?
You need to prepare for the cold this morning. No cloud cover really expected. Clear skies today. No rain, certainly no severe weather, but it very much feels like early March. We're in the 20s as you head out this morning. Grab the coat. We'll have sunshine and 60s as we get to the afternoon. Here's your planner for this morning. Taking a look on our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. Hustling, bustling Norman, starting to get a little bit picked up there on the roadways. 50 by 11 a.m. And how's it looking for the big Thunder game now downtown this evening, taking on the Celtics? I'll have that. We'll also talk about big cold front for your weekend in full weather.
And here at News 9, we like to honor those teachers who are making a big impact in the classroom.
And meet Jerry Russell, the first grade teacher from Hennessy Elementary. We're told she spent the past 40 years devoting her life to shaping young minds.
Thank you, Jerry Russell. Do you know an educator doing great things in the classroom? Nominate them right now. Just go to news9.com/teacher. Time for the bus stop forecast. Bundle them up this morning.
It is cold out there.
Yeah.
Lacey, you're asking for all these pictures from people in the storm cellar, and I asked Colby, I said, did you take any pictures?
It was too chaotic.
Usually
and too warm. And too warm. We were
he
a
has
sweaty
a pregnant
mess.
wife, 2 boys, a dog, and...
What else was in there?
Was your mother-in-law still here?
No, she had
Okay,
left, so
all
it was
right.
just the 5 of us.
Tuesday
and
night, yeah.
Tuesday night. It did smell like dog inside. It was
Yeah.
like hot and humid. And
It's not usually a pleasant experience.
No, it
I
was
mean,
not.
but if you go there enough, you practice practiced enough with your family, it kind of takes down the fear sometimes in the kiddos, and some it doesn't. I mean, sirens are sounding and it gets hectic.
Yes.
But if you did take pictures, I had so many people tag me in pictures. I said, just keep sending them, and I'll keep showing them.
I love seeing them.
I know, and it just shows too how many people have been impacted. We've had hundreds of these pictures sent in of people seeking shelter.
Those babies with the helmets on, Lacey.
Exactly, doing what they need to do, and it's part of it. You learn your ABCs and you learn tornado drills in Oklahoma. That's just how it goes. For the kiddos headed to the bus stop this morning, let me show you 20s and 30s. By the time we get to about 7 a.m., 34, 50 by recess, midday, and then mid-60s for afternoon highs. Now, speaking of, this is the video I was talking about earlier at the Youth Expo at the Fairgrounds. This is a bathroom stall. Okay, tens of thousands of people at the Fairgrounds for either the basketball tournaments going on or the Youth Expo. And Jessica sent this and it says, I don't like this. No, there's a potty in the corner over here. There's a toilet. And look at the people. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, Lacey.
But they're safe. They're, you know, in the shelter doing their thing. Everybody's on their phone.
Doing their thing.
Trying to figure out can you imagine? Shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. Anyway, that's what it did. So Colby was probably a little smelling like dogs. Can you imagine being in there with 30 strangers? Yeah, wild. Also love this picture. This is a pantry, by the way, and they've brought the TV into the pantry, laying there with the dogs, ready to go. Thank you, Amy, for sending that. Smallest part of your home, lowest level. If that is a bathroom, if that's a pantry, away from exterior walls, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you have a basement, a cellar, storm shelter, that sort of thing, perfect. I love this. The family's there, hanging out, got the helmet on. Ready to go. That was in Eric, by the way. So there have been so many folks across Oklahoma that have had to seek shelter over the past week. It was 1 week ago that those Thursday tornadoes took off. Keep your pictures coming. And remember, if you don't have a designated safe spot in your home, find one, locate one, make sure your family knows where to go. If you live in a mobile home, there is no safe spot in a mobile home. You just have to know where you will go. Make a plan with a relative, a family member down the road, and just figure out a place where you could go if you need to, okay? And right now, we are severe clear over the next 9 days. We got a big wind system coming. Fire danger is the concern. Have a big storm that brought the cold front yesterday. Yesterday was awful with the wind, wasn't it? It felt so cold with that wind. A shock to the system after how warm we've been. That cold air causing more severe weather now. Ongoing tornado watch. We've had multiple tornadoes along this line, and now a confirmed tornado in southern Georgia right now at 6:17. Nothing going on in the Oklahoma skies. We're clear. 31 on our Lucky Star Skycam network, 29 in Guthrie, 28 in Hinton, 35 in Byers. Winds are light to calm. Winds are picking up, though, in the Panhandle, and our winds increase into the afternoon, which will elevate that wildfire risk. So 20s, 30s, bundle up. Make sure the kiddos have the coat. Highs today, 60s. Feeling pretty great. South winds will start to increase, and we might have some gusts close to 40, which gives us moderate to high fire danger today. We need rain across Oklahoma. I'll show you coming up in the next half hour how long we've gone without rain in parts of the state. Some areas have had wonderful rains, but it's definitely not everyone. Sunday's storm, which is going to bring us a slight chance for sprinkles, but really more in the way of wind and cold air. It's now coming into the Pacific Northwest. Ahead of it and along it, behind it, slight chance of showers, but really when you look at the totals and any measurable rainfall the next 9 days, are looking pretty dry across Oklahoma. Low 40s is what we're expecting tonight, not nearly as cold as what we're dealing with this morning. We'll see temperatures back in the 70s for your Friday. Winds a little gusty in the morning, and northeast wind takes hold. Then they back off into the afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon looks great. Saturday is a hot one, close to record highs. 80s on the way with a south wind, and then Sunday, cold front slams in. That's a storm that's over the northwest. Afternoon, this is a snapshot. That's supposed to be afternoon. It's supposed to be afternoon. When I'm left to myself and Megan isn't here to help me and read my graphics, this is what happens. 40s on the way, some 50s to the south. We will have fire danger, though, because the winds pick up 25, 35, gusts 45, maybe even isolated gusts to 50 miles per hour on Sunday, causing wind chills to be in the teens and 20s by Sunday evening. And in fact, by Monday morning, the actual air temperature, slight chance of rain, most are dry. Monday morning will be in the teens and 20s. Another hard freeze is on the way heading into early Monday. Now, by Tuesday, we'll see 70 degrees, and watch how warm we get at the end of next week, guys. Upper 80s, record-breaking highs possible, some 90s widespread by the end of next week. I'll send it back to you.
You need a nap, Lacey.
A for noon. A for noon.
We relate. We got it, girl. Hey, a reminder, we stream live on the News 9 YouTube channel. Hop on there. You can actually scan the QR code to get to our page, subscribe, join the chat. We've got a lot of folks on there, hundreds of folks on there this morning, and we read the comments throughout the newscast.
All right, your time now 6:20. Taking a quick look at your traffic this morning. This is a live look from our news tracker at Southeast 51st and I-35. I-35 looking northbound and looking good this morning as more folks wake up and hit the roads. We'll check some more cameras here in the next 10 minutes.
We were following David Payne on News 9, making sure we were safe.
Right now we're hearing from people who were at the state fairgrounds when that tornado sirens, when those went off earlier this week. Coming up, why one student says he's never seen anything like this. We'll show you right after this.
All right, welcome back. Boy, listen to this. The coaches in the SEC overlook OU women's basketball guard, Aaliyah Chavez, not naming her SEC Freshman of the Year. But hold off, stop the presses, because ESPN, the network, says, yep, she's the National Freshman of the Year. Chavez led Oklahoma in scoring, averaging over 18 points a game. Aaliyah averaged just over 4 rebounds a game. She is a force to be reckoned with.
So she was snubbed by the SEC.
But not ESPN.
ESPN says she's the best in the nation on the
There you
freshman
go.
level. Okay. Hey, on the men's side of things, the Sooner men are moving on in the SEC tournament. They play again tonight after battling back to beat South Carolina last night, 86-74. News 9's Toby Rowland is there at the SEC tournament with the highlights.
Well, Oklahoma has now won 5 straight games and 7 of their last 9, and their dream at making a miracle run to the NCAA tournament is still alive. It looked bleak early on Wednesday night in their opening round SEC tournament game against South Carolina. The Sooners fell behind by 13 in the first half, but a big run late in the first half, early in the second, gave Oklahoma a lead they would never relinquish as they pulled away to win it 86-74 over the Gamecocks. Nigel Pack, 5 more three-pointers tonight. He had 24 points. Tay Davis was great. He had 18. Oklahoma made 11 three-pointers in this game. It is the 20th time this year they have made double-digit three-pointers in a contest. So what does this win mean? They move on to round 2 to take on Texas A&M late on Thursday night. A&M is the 6th seed. Oklahoma played the Aggies twice this year, once in College Station, once in Norman, and lost to them both times. They play up and down buckyball, they call it. It's going to be a tough test, but the Sooners probably have to win again on Thursday night to keep their chances for the NCAA tournament alive. If they do win, it'll get very interesting. They may have a shot at the big dance. Arkansas would be the next team coming up on Friday if they could get by A&M. Well, the story on Wednesday night, a big comeback for the Sooners as they win here in Nashville in round 1. In the Bridgestone Arena, I'm Toby Rowland.
All right, keep hope alive. Let's get over to the outdoor forecast with Lacey. What do you have, Lace?
Hey, ground temperatures are getting warmer, guys. You'll notice the red buds are all blooming. They are stunning across the state of Oklahoma. When that starts to happen, the crappie bite is usually really getting on close to the spawn. If you're heading to an area lake, send me your pictures. Temps in the 20s and 30s. It's cold right now, but we warm up to the 50s and 60s this afternoon with sunshine. Fire danger is high. We'll talk about that, your wind timeline, and a big cold front for your weekend. That and your latest headlines coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
And good morning, 6:30 on our Thursday morning. Metro man's mattress catches fire early this morning while he's sleeping. Fire crews tell us it happened about 3:30 right here in the Metro at a neighborhood near Northeast 34th and Lottie. The man is being treated for smoke inhalation. We checked this morning. He is expected to be okay. His name hasn't been released and the cause of the fire is under investigation.
The driver of a car is ticketed after this fiery crash between a semi and a car on I-35 near Covell in Edmond. It happened yesterday in the southbound lanes. Amazingly, no one was even hurt. Look at the aftermath. OHP now says the car was following too closely, wedged itself under the semi. Both caught fire. Everybody's okay, but the car driver got a ticket for following too closely.
And another driver lands her car upside down on the northwest side of Oklahoma City. Happened right before midnight at Northwest 10th and Chartel in the roundabout. Police tell us that driver's from Texas and told them she didn't know there was a roundabout there. We're told she wasn't hurt, but was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Only that one car was involved.
We saw that Texas tag right there.
Those Texas women, I tell you.
I hate it when those roundabouts sneak up on you.
Yeah, the car was upside down. Just saying.
Our forecast has been upside.
She's gonna be okay.
She's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, our forecast has been upside down. It feels like today actually feels very cold.
There you go.
Where February felt so warm, Lacey.
Lacey, get the gloves on, right?
Something, the hat, the gloves, and watch where you're going. I mean, yes, I get it. Roundabouts are confusing. They confuse me. They're terrifying as you're driving into them, but there's usually quite a bit of signage around. There's usually alerts of some sort that there's a turn.
Love it.
That's what you fear, though. You fear someone doing that every time you enter those things. They seem like traps. It's wild. You just hope you make it out. Okay, glad she's okay. Very cold this morning. Temperatures are down into the 20s, the 30s. Big cold front blew through. You felt it yesterday if you were outside at all. We had a lot of wind yesterday behind that system. Now high wind warnings to the north. That is a big storm that will be arriving and bringing us a whole lot of wind as we head into portions of your weekend. But right now, severe weather ongoing in the deep south. That is all pushing off across Georgia. There have been multiple tornadoes in Alabama and Georgia overnight and early this morning. Temps 20s and 30s, 30 degrees in Alba, 30 in Enid, some frost in a few areas this morning. You might actually have to wait on that to melt on your windshield to get you going for your Thursday. Winds are light, but they pick up some into the afternoon. They'll be out of the southwest, 15, 25 miles per hour, and will climb into the mid 60s. But there's some big ups and downs on your 9-day. Temperatures bottom out for your weekend and especially into your Sunday, guys. We'll even see a hard freeze return to the state before more record highs are possible. Your 9-day forecast is coming up. Lacey.
The small community of Beggs, south of Tulsa, is grieving this couple right here who was killed when an EF3 tornado hit their mobile home last Friday. The family of Todd and Becky McClellan tell us cinder blocks are all that's left where the home once was. Now the whole family is trying to pick up what's left of their loved ones' lives.
It's going to be long. It's going to be tough. Like I said before, when you got good, close family and good friends, you'd be surprised what you can get through.
We're told the couple's son, Ace, right here, was also injured along with his girlfriend. They are both expected to recover.
And investigators now have called off this latest search for 2 Oklahoma girls who disappeared from the small community of Welch, Oklahoma 26 years ago. So for the last few days, several agencies have actually been searching for the remains of Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman in a mine shaft just over the state line in Kansas. Authorities yesterday, though, determined they determined the girls were not in this area. They said they would have found them by now with the extensive search that's taken place. The OSBI says it is continuing to look into this story and urging anyone with any information about these 2 girls, if you know anything, please contact OSBI. Time now for a look at the morning drive and taking a live look off the roads. There's our Kylie Dedman. She's out and about across the metro. Kylie, you're monitoring the traffic conditions. Where are you? How's it looking?
Hey, good morning, Robin. Yes, we are traveling eastbound on I-40. We are in Midwest City, and roads have been looking really good this morning. We've been on I-40. We've gone all the way down to El Reno, and now we're all the way here in Midwest City. And we haven't seen or been heard of any wrecks, so that's great news right there. So we'll keep you updated. We've been traveling on I-35 as well, and no wrecks up and down I-35 either this morning. So we'll keep you updated, but roads are looking really good for your morning commute. We'll keep you updated. Stay with News 9. Reporting on I-40 eastbound, Kylie Dudman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Kylie, thanks so much. Appreciate the report. Now from the state capitol. Oklahoma lawmakers advance legislation that would further restrict obscene materials in school libraries.
Yeah, Republicans in the legislature say action needs to be taken in order to protect Oklahoma children. News 9's Capitol reporter Haley Hetrick has the details this morning.
We're here to protect our kids.
Almost 2 hours spent on Senate Bill 1250.
This is, I think, an emotionally charged issue for many of us.
We've been fighting this problem for a long time, and hopefully now we can get something done that everybody's going to be happy with.
The legislation prohibits Oklahoma schools from having any library materials containing or depicting obscene materials, sexually explicit content, or nudity.
And I believe the intent of this entire body is simply to protect children from seeing things that they shouldn't see before it's time for them.
Republicans call it common sense legislation.
The obvious that the processes we have today that allow inappropriate material to remain in our schools is proof that we need a change.
Democrats disagree.
This is a solution looking for a problem. Every school district in this state has a process for parents to object to a book.
Saying this is an issue already being solved at the local level.
We need to take out materials that are not appropriate age-wise. But we know our kids are exposed to things constantly, inside and outside the school. Are we going to make them be sealed in a hermetic bubble until they're 18?
While the bill had the room split, the Senate author Warren Hamilton says it was meant to be a parental issue, not a partisan issue.
I would like for my children and my grandchildren and successive generations to be able to view the library as a safe place for children to go.
The legislation ultimately passing on party lines.
This is the right bill, this is the right time, and God have mercy on us if we do not defend children that are in our classrooms and under our care.
The legislation is now headed over to the State House for consideration. Now, a similar bill did pass off the House floor earlier this week. That is now headed to the State Senate. At the Capitol for Oklahoma's own, I'm Haley Hetrick.
And it would take a state law change in order to make those changes in schools, because back in 2024, the state Supreme Court unanimously ruled that local school boards, not state officials, hold the authority to determine library book sections.
We are now hearing from people who were at two big events at the state fairgrounds this week when severe weather rolled in. The weather paused those events and forced everyone to take shelter. Look at this video when the tornado sirens sounded. Both the state high school basketball championships and the Oklahoma Youth Expo were happening at the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds. As you can see, it forced thousands of people to stop, take shelter wherever they could find it. We actually spoke with a 4-H student who says he'd never seen anything like this.
It's about my third year here, and I've never had something like this happen, and it's kind of crazy. We were following David Payne on News 9, making sure we were safe.
You're in good hands, buddy. Our Thunder reporter, Steve McGeehee, was actually at the high school basketball games, the championships. That's his video right here. He says when the sirens went off, they paused the game. Everything actually went smoothly. They were in the shelter underneath for about 25 minutes, and everyone felt safe, came back, and everything resumed, you guys.
See, that's just goes to show you, Steve McGeehee can't escape the thunder. The basketball team had a couple of nights off, so he goes to the state championships and then storms.
And he's still working, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Life interrupted, but Oklahoma did great.
Oh, man, I tell you, it takes everybody. Lacey, just hats off to you and the team, because it takes so many people. And you guys were everywhere on Tuesday night.
It takes a big team. We had trackers planned out. That takes days of planning and coordinating. David Payne coordinates it all with like a well-orchestrated oiled machine, seriously. And, you know, it's unpredictable in a sense. We know where the storm chances are, but where are these going to fire up? That one came right over the most highly populated part of the state of Oklahoma, and no injuries, thankfully.
Dodged the bullet.
Yeah, and a couple of weak tornadoes out of it, and that was about it. No major damage. So on to the next now. And looking ahead, we're starting off very cold, guys. 20s as you head out this morning. Here in the Bob Mills Weather Center, we're talking 30s, 40s to eventually the 60s. Later, sunshine and winds start to pick up. Now, storm chances. Are they on the 9-day? I'll tell you, it's getting to be a pretty quiet pattern. We're going to be talking more about wind, fire, and near record highs. But I'm looking for rain chances. We'll detail all of it in full weather.
And what about beyond the 9-day? We're less than 2 weeks into March already, close to tying the old record for the number of tornadoes this month. So does it mean that the rest of the storm season is going to be just as busy? Well, Chief Meteorologist David Payne is answering your questions about rain, wind, hail, expected number of tornadoes. You can tune in tonight at 10 for his spring severe weather forecast.
.643 right now, and we are following breaking news. You're looking live at Northeast 23rd near Santa Fe, close to the Capitol. Emergency responders are at the scene of a gas station here. We are in the parking lot. Our crew there at the scene saw at least one person walking on their own to an ambulance, but there's a lot of cops, a lot of firefighters, as well as an ambulance there. So we're trying to figure out exactly what happened and what is going on. But as you can see, a large first responder presence there. So if you're driving by there and you're saying, what's going on? We're trying to get answers for you. We're live there at the scene, and we'll update you if it turns out to be anything.
What you notice about that, a lot of those officers wearing their beanies or toboggans this morning.
A little chilly out there.
Very chilly out the door.
You are, waking up. It's 6:45 on our Thursday morning. We're getting ready for the weekend too, Lacey.
Getting ready for the weekend, and I'm telling you, if you have weekend plans, Saturday's going to feel like one season, Sunday's going to feel like a whole nother.
Oh, boy.
So huge weekend divided. Hot Saturday, close to record highs. Cold, windy, very windy on Sunday.
Okay.
Big changes
You've
coming.
warned us.
We've had so much volatile weather, severe weather, and we've been talking about this. Hundreds, if not thousands of Oklahomans over the past week now have had to seek shelter from storms and find a safe place. And we've been showing your pictures of you in your safe place. I just thought this one was interesting. The storm on Tuesday, the supercell, the hook was headed right over Will Rogers. Mason Dunn was in the air, and Bob Mills, Sky News 9, showing that. They finally put the ground stop on. They evacuated. They had everybody head down. And this is a picture that Rama sent, and they're actually fact, they're being escorted by TSA to the safe place at Will Rogers. So we talk about know where your safe place is at home, practice the drills with your family, with the kiddos. But as you're going into a day with severe weather, know where you will be at the time frame we're telling you, and know where the safe place is for that building, for that structure. Now, this was probably a lot of folks that had no clue what was going on. They land in Oklahoma, can you imagine, and boom, tornado warning, and you got to seek shelter. Welcome to the Sooner State, right? These are perfect examples of what you should do during severe weather, during a tornado warning. This is Don, Presley, and Cody have their helmets on. They're in their bathtub, and they are ready to go. This is what you do. Lowest level of your home, centermost portion, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Your helmet, you can put on couch cushions, your mattress, something on top of you. You're just trying to protect yourself from flying debris. That is the goal. And if you go to the centermost portion of your home, you're gonna be fine. If you have a shelter, if you have a safe place that is more of a cellar type of environment or a basement, that's best. If you live in a mobile home, it just won't work. You have to have a structure that is anchored to foundation. That is considered a safe place. Adam sent us this picture. Look at the baby. She's got her snacks. She's got her screen there. She's doing good, but she's got the pillows and the cushions all around her to protect her from debris. Just use these as examples. If you haven't located your safe spot in your home or thought of a safety plan, now is the time to do that. We do have big winds on the way as we head into the weekend with another strong cold front. The first one that blew through, it arrived yesterday. Winds picked up through the day. Our high was just after midnight. It was a cold day. It felt like the 30s and low 40s most of the afternoon. Now the front has made its way all the way down through Alabama and Georgia, and watch along the line of all the tornado warnings. Some of these have been confirmed tornadoes up and down the line. Still ongoing tornado warnings in Georgia right now. For Oklahoma City, for the state of Oklahoma, there's barely even any cloud cover. We're clear, we're cold, we're up to 31. We've warmed a couple degrees. 29 in Guthrie, 31 in Chandler. 25 in Chickasha. Winds are light to calm, and with that, some light frost is possible this morning. 27 in Enid, down to 22 degrees in Bessie. 69 will be the high today in Woodward, and for your Thursday, we'll warm back into the mid-60s and maybe even a few 70s. Now, the winds today out of the south and southwest will drop the humidity. The humidity will fall to 10 to 15%, giving us moderate to high fire danger in the west. Be careful today, and every time the wind picks up, until we really green things up and get some good statewide rain, fire danger is the threat. Big storm system coming in. It's actually a couple areas of low pressure merging together. That's going to deepen and crank up the wind. Might bring a couple of sprinkles or showers Sunday, but I think most of the day is dry. We'll see. And looking ahead over the next 9 days, it just looks bone dry. You've got to look ahead to about March 27th or 28th to find our next upper level storm that brings us decent rain and storm chances. Tonight, weak front moves in. We're back into the 40s, not nearly as cold as this morning. For your Friday, north winds gusty in the morning, but back off in the afternoon. 60s and 70s for your Friday. Saturday is warm to hot, closer to records than average, more 80s on the way. And then check out your Sunday. This is Sunday afternoon, taking you about 4 o'clock. Lower 40s. It'll feel so much colder because that north wind will be gusting 35, 45 miles per hour, isolated gusts to 50 on Sunday, and the wind chill by 8 o'clock in the evening will be in the teens and 20s on Sunday. Huge cold blast. After that 80 on Saturday, it's going to be a shock to the system. So if you're planning to have outdoor plans, you got games outside, ball games, that sort of thing, plan for Sunday to be chilly. Cloud cover around, maybe a couple of weak showers, and then by Monday morning, another hard freeze. So gardeners, people that are trying to plant and get your flower beds all pretty, just hold off a little bit longer because it does look like another hard freeze come Monday. 49 in the afternoon, then 80s and some 90s are coming on back. That's your 9 day. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. Continuing coverage, News 9 now asking who authorized those pay raises for Oklahoma County detention officers to the tune of $250,000. Oklahoma County Commissioner Jason Lowe wants everyone on the same page and says it was back in January that the jail trust first passed a freeze on the salary increases. But Commissioner Lowe says the paper trail shows it was jail trust chairman Jim Holman who was the one who approved the nearly $250,000 in raises last month. Commissioner Lowe says he understands the need for the pay raises, but it's not possible with a $5 million budget shortfall.
These employees are in need of a pay raise. They do a great job, but at this point in time, we can't afford to give pay raises to over 100 people when you're crying broke.
Also yesterday, Oklahoma County Commissioners deferred a vote to request an audit of the jail trust. Commissioners were awaiting the district attorney to review that request in order to determine if they can call for an audit. Well, now the district attorney says this needs to be an opinion from the attorney general. Commissioners also decided to defer a vote on creating a committee that could end up leading to the jail trust being dissolved.
Meanwhile, Oklahoma County Commissioners are moving forward with construction of the new county jail, even with this budget shortfall. In a 2-to-1 vote, Commissioners approved a $214 million agreement with construction company Flintco for the first phase of the project. This comes as the board faces a shortfall of $500 million.
I do believe it makes sense to do what the voters directed us to do with this money, which is to put it towards building a new jail, and this will complete phase 1.
This is not our money. This is taxpayer money that we're $214 million that we're hoping and wishing that we come up with the rest of the funds.
Commissioners ended up approving using money from a settlement fund to help with the budget shortfall.
All right, we got to talk Thunder because you know what? SGA could actually break the record tonight in the Thunder's huge matchup. The Celtics are coming to town, and we're hearing about a water main break right at 15th and Santa Fe in Edmond. More on these stories. It's ahead here on 9.
A quick check of traffic this morning. We are headed to right now a water main break in Edmond. This is at 15th Street and Santa Fe, very close, right by Edmond Santa Fe High School. So 15th Street, which is also 164th in that area. As soon as we get there, we'll bring you a live shot. But again, a water main break at 15th and Santa Fe this morning.
Oh man, the Paycom is going to be the place to be tonight. All eyes on SGA as he goes for a record. If he scores at least 20 points tonight, he will now break Wilt Chamberlain's 126 record of straight games with more than 20 points. They're tied right now. The Thunder playing Boston. This is a huge game tonight at 8:30 at the Paycom Center. We will be watching.
He's going to do it, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
There's
He's
done it so silently, too.
I
Like,
know.
it just sneaks up on you, and then you're like, oh, my God, you're about to break a record that stood for 63 years.
It's like, oh man, SGA must not be having a good night tonight. No, he has 35. Like, oh my gosh.
He's on the bench in the fourth quarter
so
with 35,
humble,
right?
So humble and quiet. Yeah.
The only way he doesn't break it is if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of right. That's what it's got to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The weather looks great. Headed to downtown Oklahoma City today, this evening. Come on down, grab some dinner, go to the Paycom. Temps will be in the 60s, falling to the 50s, 70s tomorrow.
And scream your head off at the game. There you go. Make it a good day.